What is up, guys? Chris here, the Unprofessional Dad, and I'm back with another night video. And what I wanted to do right now is I wanted to have a little conversation about a video that I put out a little while back, actually a couple months ago. And it is my highest viewed video ever. Now, that's not saying much. It only has like right around 8,000 views. Now, that's not a lot. For me and my channel, because I'm still a small nobody, I mean, I don't have a big channel at all, but 8,000 views for my channel is massive. And I appreciate every single, I've said it since the beginning. I created this channel just to talk to my son in the military. So if one person watched it, I'm tickled to death to make these videos. If 100 people watch it, I'm blown away wondering what's wrong with them and why they would watch my stuff. I still don't get it. And I'm appreciative beyond words. I mean, I am so appreciative and grateful. 8,000 views, that is mind-blowing for me. And I appreciate each and every single one of those. So thank you. But in that video, we talked about an interview between Dr. Laren Thomas and the CEO of Niagara Special Metals, or Steels, or however it's said. I repeated and relayed some of the things that were said in that. Now, I wear it on my sleeve. I'm ignorant of a lot of things in knives, and I still am. I don't talk about width behind the edge and all that other stuff. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I care about how does it look, how does it feel in your hand, does it cut pretty good? All right, cool. That's a cool knife. I want it. Because that's how most people are, and I take the perspective of how most people look at knives. The true enthusiast and hobbyist that gets into those fine details of the HRC and they actually test it and all that, that's so beyond me. I could care less, honestly. Now, I appreciate the fact that they do, and I watch them and I learn from them, and that's how I've learned what I have. But I don't get into that stuff for a reason. Number one, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to pretend that I do. Number two, when I go to buy a knife, I've never one time stopped to wonder what the HRC on it is. Now, I'll relay that information if I have it. But to me, I've never one time asked myself, well, what's the hardness on that? I don't care. And the most people that I know are that way. It's a knife. Does it cut? Does it look cool? Does it feel good in the hand? Can I afford it? That's the stuff that I worry about. And that's what I focus on. And I wear that on my sleeve. In this interview between Dr. Laren Thomas and Niagara, they talked about some metals because Crucible had went bankrupt. Now, even though I'm ignorant of a lot of things, and I own that, I am a good parrot, meaning I know how to listen and I know how to relate. For 25 years, I've done that in sales. I would listen to a company, tell me about their product, tell me what they wanted people to know about it. Tell me what you want the other person, the end user, the customer, what should they know about your product? You tell me what to say and I'll let them know. And they would tell me the information, they would put it out on paper, I would take it in, I would decipher it, I would put it in my own words, and I would put it out there. I did that for 25 years. Now, when I heard his interview, all I did was repeated exactly what he said. And when I put that out, a lot of people watched it. And it is human nature, this is true. If you get 100 comments, but one of them is negative, and 99 are glowingly positive and encouraging and supportive, you're going to be swamped and encompassed by that. That's not the right word, encompassed. You're going to be consumed by that one negative. Why did they think that way? What did I do wrong? What could I have done different? Dogs over here. And I got overall a lot of really encouraging comments from that, but there was a couple negative ones. And I want to address a few of those because recently David C. Anderson put out a video on Knife Center, Knife FAQ, and he addressed some of these very things. So I want to go back, rehash some of the things that I talked about, and talk about whether or not they was confirmed or denied, whether I was right or whether I was wrong. Not because I'm looking for a pat on the back, but because you all deserve the most accurate information possible. And that's all I want to do. I don't care about being right. I admit every day I'm wrong. And I always own it if I'm wrong. I'm wrong 99% of the time. I can't say words right. I mean, I'm wrong a lot. I own that. I wear it. All right. Number one, in that video, we talked about powdered steels and how they use powdered steels in the forging process of making knives. I talked about how they take powdered steels in spoons and they sprinkle it in a canister to make a billet. And I had several people come into the comments and talk about how, no, that's borax that they sprinkle on that. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's powdered steel. Now, borax is sprinkled on the billet after the billet is formed. Borax is sprinkled on afterwards to keep it from oxidizing. They sprinkle it so any gaps or cracks will be covered. There will be a layer of something over that so oxidation can't get in there, oxygen, and cause it to have cracks and splits. Oxidation is terrible for the forging process. But to create the billet itself, when you put steel ball bearings or nails or whatever you're putting in there, there's a lot of gaps and negative space. And how do you fill that? So you don't have a lot of gaps in your billet, is you fill it with powdered steel. Not borax, powdered steel. And one comment after the other was coming in telling me how I was wrong and they would use borax. And I'm like, no. And I literally had to link Google searches and Google information and videos showing them doing that. And then people got mad at me about how it's not their place to be right. I'm the one making the video. It's like, really? That's your response? They were so upset and stuff over me getting it wrong, but I wasn't wrong. They use powdered steel in making billets. I don't care about being right or wrong, but I want to give the most accurate information possible. And if people are reading that in the comment section, they're going to think that I don't know what I'm talking about. I've made knives before, several of them, shown them in the videos before. So I've watched Forge and Fire. I know how to make knives. I don't do it anymore because I don't have the equipment here when I moved here. But you use powdered steel. Usually it's high carbon, like 1095 or something like that, but they use canisters of powdered steel that they sprinkle it in the billets. Now, we're past that. Another thing that we talked about is some blade steels that we're going to be going out of production. One of those being 15V. Now, Spyderco uses 15V a lot. 15V is a very cool blade steel that they use on their Big Brown Bear sprint runs. I've got several of them. I've got this Military 2. I've got this Shaman, which is so important to me and valuable for a specific reason, and I will always love this knife. And it is a Big Brown Bear 15V. First of all, Shaman's one of my favorite knives, probably right behind the Mordax. It's the Shaman. I love the Shaman. And this is in 15V. But recently, some really cool people sent me this, a 15V Manix 2, lightweight. And I love this thing. Thank you guys very, very much. These are two knives. Even if I got rid of the Military 2, these two will go with me to the very end. I would never get rid of these. But 15V will be gotten rid of. 15V is a blade steel that is going away. Now, I talked in that other video about how nobody can produce 15V. They cannot get the forges hot enough. There was only one place that could. They made 15V, but now that they are out of business, nobody else will ever make 15V. There are no steel producers that can get forges hot enough to produce 15V. Now, I'm going to link below the FAQ from Knife Center where David C. Anderson confirms that very thing. In the video before, people were telling me that I had no clue what I was talking about, that I basically was an idiot. But it's true. Nobody can produce 15V. It's the hardest blade steel that they know to work with. Very few people could do it. So somebody did. They're out of business. So when 15V is done, when all of that blade steel is gone, it's over. No more 15V. So what that means for all of us, there will always be blade steels. There will always be knives with blades that are sharp and we can use for cutting and tools and stuff like that. But some people like limited sprint runs. Some people like specialty metals, exotic metals. Some people collect that stuff. And Spyderco collectors also like it because they're Spydercos. So there's a lot of different people that are interested in 15V for various reasons. Now, right now, you can still get 15V because there's different blades out there right now that have this. But you can find them on Amazon, Blade HQ, Knife Center, all kinds of different places. Once all of those knives are gone and they're all out of stock, and you can't go onto Amazon and buy a knife in 15V anymore, and you look on Blade HQ and you look on Knife Center, and everywhere you look, you can't find them anymore. Well, that's when the law of supply and demand will kick in. And that's when I tell everybody, never get into this as an investment game because you'll never make your money back. Now, I treat them as investments, but from a different perspective. If I buy a knife that costs $200, I take good care of that knife because for me, it's an investment. Not that it's ever going to get me $200 back, but as a dad and with bills and on a limited income, if I ever was in a hard spot, I want to be able to sell that knife and get every dime that I can out of it, so I take as good a care of my knives as possible because they're investments. I will never get my money back out of them. I will never make money off of them, but if I spend it $200 on a knife and then I've enjoyed it for a year, and then I'm in a hard spot and I need to sell it for $100, $125, well, that's $100 in my pocket right there. So to an extent, it's an investment for me. It's a savings program, not one that makes you money, but one that you can get money out if you're ever in a hard spot. Does that make sense? 15V is one of those blade steels that will actually probably have the opposite effect. When they no longer are making this and they no longer have knives out there that you can find on the open market, what you will have to do is go to the secondary market. And when you reach the secondary market, that's where people make profits. And profit's not a dirty word. The law of supply and demand affects us all. And it is the rule of the game. And if you want something and only one person has it, but everybody wants it, it's up to them for what they want to get out of it, and it's what it's worth to them. And it's up to everybody else whether or not they want to pay that price. But I'm telling you right now, 15V is going to be a blade steel that people are looking for a long time to come. And because they can't buy blades in it anymore, they are going to pay more money. So if you are somebody who has been wanting a knife in 15V, you just haven't done it yet. You've been saving up. You've been waiting for the right one. Well, it might be a situation where if you can at all squeeze together the money to get one, you might want to get one now. Because later on you won't be able to unless you pay considerably more. Now that might not happen. There might not be a situation where 15V goes up in value once it's out of stock everywhere. I don't see that being the case, but that could be the case. That could happen. But regardless, 15V is a blade steel that's going away. So if you want a knife in 15V, you need to get one. One last thing. I want to address this. Master Sergeant sent in this new Para 3 15V. This is the Para 3 lightweight 15V. And it has CNC milled titanium handles that are custom. This is a very nice and valuable knife. He sent this in to the channel because he wanted to give it to me. I'm just joking. He sent it in because this is a knife giveaway that he wanted to see someone else enjoy. And very soon, we will be giving away this Para 3 in 15V to one lucky person. And this is a free giveaway. I'll link that in the description below as well. So make sure if you're not in that giveaway also, you watch that video, do the few things that it says to be a part of it. It's real easy. Subscribe, leave a comment, stuff like that. And you're in. That is going to be a great prize for somebody to get a free knife. And this is one heck of a knife. Thank you, Master Sergeant. All right, some other blade steels that we talked about in that video. This is crew wear. This is the Benchmade Adamas. This is crew wear. I said in that video, because they said in their video between Dr. Laren Thomas and Niagara, the CEO of Niagara, they said that crew wear is not going away. They will still have crew wear. But guess what? They're not going to be calling it crew wear anymore. They can't call it crew wear. Well, David C. Anderson just talked about it. He mentioned another name that they're probably going to call it something else wear, but it's going to be called something different than crew wear. Exactly what I said. Again, I don't care about being right. I care about you all getting the most accurate information. And if you all watch my videos and you think that I'm putting out phony information or something like that, it might make somebody not want to watch or something like that. I want you guys to get the most accurate information possible. Crewwear will be around for a long time to come. There will be people making this, but it will be called something else. But you will still get your crewwear. Now, also, S90V. I said in that video, S90V is still going to be around. It's still going to be made. But it will no longer be called CPM S90V. And that's been confirmed. Actually, no blade steels will be called CPM anything anymore, because that's a Crucible term. Crucible's out of business. So these, once all these are gone, all the CPM S90V blade steel is gone. From then on, all blade steels created that are in the S90V formula will be called something different. I don't know what it'll be called, probably something 90 something, but it will be called something other than S90V. It will still be the typical S90V formula, hardness, edge retention, all that stuff that you love from S90V, because this is a very sought after popular blade steel. But it will no longer be called S90V. So, does that mean you need to run out and get an S90V blade? Probably not, because it's still going to be around. People don't care about the name of it. They care about the actual blade steel. So as long as you can still get the blade steel, that won't, just because it's called something different, that probably won't affect the price of it or the collectability of it. It just won't, because they can still get the very same blade steel. So S90V, you're still good. Crewwear, you're still good. MagnaCut, you're still good. Now, they won't call it CPM MagnaCut anymore, but actually DCA actually referred to it in his video that he just done, that they don't put CPM MagnaCut on the blades anyways. This says MagnaCut, and if you'll look right there, it just says MagnaCut on the top there. Right there. It just says MagnaCut. It doesn't say CPM MagnaCut. So that probably won't affect anybody, and nobody will care. It'll just still be called MagnaCut, but it won't be called CPM MagnaCut. Another blade steel that I talked about, 20CV and M390. M390 and 20CV are the same basic makeup. They're basically the same blade steels. One was made CPM S20V or 20CV, sorry. And the other is M390, but Bowler M390. 20CV is probably going away. They're going to stop making 20CV. But you will still be able to get Bowler M390, because they're two different companies pretty much producing basically the same blade steel. The differences are so minor that you can't tell one from the other. So 20CV as 20CV you won't see, but you will still see Bowler M390 everywhere. So that's not a blade steel you really need to flip out about or go out and buy 20CV knives or anything like that. Because again, the same with the S90V. People really don't care about the name. They care about the configuration. They care about the capabilities. They care about what you can get. If you give me a Ford F-150 and somebody else buys it out, and Ford goes out of business, but this new company is still making Ford F-150s, and they're the same exact truck, they just got a different logo on it, it doesn't drive the price of Ford F-150s up, because they're no longer called Ford F-150s. If they're called Kashika F-150s or whatever, I just made up a silly name, they're still F-150s and they're still going to be the same vehicles. So it doesn't drive up something just because of the name of something. It's the limited availability that drives up the price. So the limited availability of 15V will drive up the price. But Crewwear, S90V, Bowler M390, they will still be readily available, so you will probably not see any significant changes in the price. 154 I said in that video, and this is the last thing I'll touch on, 154, they said in that video, and I relayed this, that they had a ton of it in stock. That was one blade steel. They had a ton of it, probably more than a year's worth of it. That they were good on that blade steel. They had so much put back. And come to find out, that's been confirmed by DCA as well. Because he listened to the same interview that I did, and he said the same exact things that I did. You know, why Crucible went out of business, I don't know. And I gave different possibilities. I wasn't saying that I knew for a fact how they went out of business. I was just saying, from a business guy that did run businesses, I saw how different things worked in businesses, how you can make one mistake or another and it could put you out of business. Some people took that I was saying specifically that is what they did to go out of business. I wasn't. I don't know what they did to go out of business. I have no idea what they did. They're great people. Everybody says that they're great people. I wasn't saying that they done this or that or they were bad business people. There's a million reasons why a company can go out of business. I'll give you an example. I was in a company. We sold vacuum cleaners door to door. I was a 17-year-old kid. We were the number one. We sold Kirby vacuums. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. I was a distributor for Kirby for years. I had a lot of people. I had 100 people working for me at one time. Well, not that many, but it was a lot. I was 17 years old. I worked for a guy here in Richmond, Kentucky. We were the number one distributorship in the world in the month of August in 1994. We sold 500 vacuum cleaners. Let me tell you right now, people think they talk about money. They think doctors and lawyers make money. You ain't got a clue. You take a guy that's selling vacuum cleaners and he makes $500 profit a piece and he sells 500 in a month, that's money. That's why people get into sales. That's neither here nor there. He was out of business the next month. He had to go take out a loan because it costs a lot of money to stay in business, especially when you're doing that type of volume. So there's all kinds of things that they could have done that put them out of business. I was just giving examples, and a couple people came into the comments and was like, hey, you don't know anything. You don't know them. If you want a conversation, we'll talk. I wasn't saying that that's why they went out of business. I was just giving examples of the different ways, how easy it can be. You could be the best business guy in the world and something can happen and you can go out of business. That's not a reflection on a person as a person. And one last thing. All these people getting so angry and mad over comments and over videos and taking 20 minutes to write out a nasty comment. I never understood that. Why somebody can get so triggered over a comment or over a video. Just turn the video. Watch something else. This is a community. We can have different opinions and viewpoints, and we can talk about it. But there's no reason to get so heated and angry over blade steels, over knife brands, over handle materials, over which knife is better than the other. Or over, oh, you shouldn't buy cheap knives. You should only buy expensive knives. You're wasting your money. And they get so heated and vitriolic over it. Or other people will be like, that's such a waste of money. And you're just throwing your money down the drain. And you're so stupid and blah, blah, blah. And people say the most vitriolic, nasty thing. I never understood that. We all see things different. You shouldn't get so triggered. I'm not trying to lecture anybody. It's just, I just never understood that. It's just knives. It's just blade steels. It's just a conversation, but it's a hobby, and we're all in this together, and we're a community, and we can have a passion. I don't like Duke Blue Devils at all, and when I talk to Duke fans or my sister who is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, it drives me crazy because I don't like those teams at all. Go Big Blue. And we get so passionate about it, and that's fun. And that should be how it is with the knife community. It should be fun to go back and forth about which knife is better and which blade steel is better. But when it gets to the level where we're getting angry about it, at that point, it's just silly. So thank you guys, anybody that's ever watched my videos. I appreciate you guys very much. I wanted to put this out just to confirm for a few people. 15V is going out. Definitely make sure that you run out and get you one if you want one while you still can before the price goes up, because it inevitably will in time, especially now that more and more people are finding out. And yeah, it's not borax, it's powdered steel. Make sure that you're doing the giveaway, because this is an awesome package in this box that one lucky person is going to win. Thank you, Master Sergeant. Guys, I'm Chris, your professional dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives, and also a great time being a part of the greatest community and all of enthusiasts and hobbyists out there. The knife community is the best, and you guys are the best salt of the earth people there are. I wish all of you sharp knives, happy lives, and I'll see you in the next video.